Hello, Play the Game family. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
This episode is brought to you by our absolute favorite guy when it comes to taxes, David Roque. David is an accountant and paintball player from South Florida. He did all of our PTG and personal taxes last year, and I gotta say, David is the man. He's been filing personal and corporate taxes for 7 years, has clients all around the United States, so it doesn't matter where you're at, he will figure out the best way to maximize your personal or corporate returns. He's really attentive, really easy to get a hold of, and amazing to work with. His goal is to help provide the paintball community with an affordable accountant that can help you better maximize your personal and corporate returns. Just mention you play paintball or listen to the podcast, and he will hook you up with a nice deal to get your taxes done for under $175, which if you compare that to like H&R Block and all the other big services, that's pretty damn good. And again, he's a paintball player. We love supporting the paintball community. The community has really showed up and showed out. So we like to do the same. And like I said, David has made our experience with tax season really seamless, really effortless, and everything is done very efficiently. So if you guys need any tax help, do not hesitate. Make sure to hit up David Roque either via his Instagram, which is alpha_Roque97. That's ROQUE. And the number's 97, or by email at droque954@gmail.com. Again, that's D as in David, Roque, ROQUE 954@gmail.com. All right.
This episode is brought to you by Lone Wolf Paintball. They are an amazing online supplier and have been around since the beginning of the game as Michigan's premier paintball field and paintball supplier since 1987. They are rapidly expanding into the online retail space and supplying everything you need to be the best paintball player you can be. They have got it all. Head over to lonewolfpaintball.com and shop all of your favorite brands. And they also boast amazing customer service and will have this out to you with same-day shipping, which is amazing. It's always nice to know that your stuff is on its way immediately so you can start to use it that very next weekend of play. Check out their YouTube, Lone Wolf Paintball, and their Instagram at Lone Wolf PB, and stay up to date with all of their deals and sales. Play the Game podcast is immensely honored to have them on board, and we cannot wait for you guys to check out lonewolfpaintball.com and become a part of their community.
This episode is brought to you by Sunday Paintball. Sunday Paintball is one of the most amazing brands in the business right now. Their whole mission is to be the Tom Shoes of paintball and give players more Sundays. What does that mean exactly? They are donating 50% of all of their profits on any of their things right back into the game to the players, to you guys that are listening right now. How exactly do they do this? Well, you could head over to their website, sundaypaintball.com. They have a tracker of how much money they have and will continue to give away. And what they do is they set up booths at events. They give out paint to teams. They give out, donations and gift certificates to different fields. They do an amazing job of giving back to the community that we all love, and it's really special. It's something that is very unique. We are incredibly appreciative and supportive of them because their passion is to help grow the sport. So if you guys could head over to sundaypaintball.com, check out any of their merchandise. They have so much cool stuff on their website. You can use code PLAYTHEGAME, get a 20% discount, and do a great thing by knowing that some of that money is going back to getting more players out to play on Sundays.
Today's episode of PTG is brought to you by Transfuse, the amazing premium rapid hydration multiplier and immunity fortifying formula that is scientifically designed to replenish you at the cellular level. And they use all natural ingredients in their products. It is packed full of zinc, vitamin B6, vitamin C, sodium, potassium, and choline. And when you take this product, you are going to feel the difference on and off the field. I know that playing paintball with Transfuse has been a game changer, and it will be for you as well. If you head over to translabs.com, that's translabs.com, and use code PLAYTHEGAME, you will get 10% off. And if you subscribe to a monthly delivery service, you get an additional 10% off. So you can take advantage of a total of 20% off on these amazing products. Also, head over to their Instagram at transfuse.official and check them out, and be on the lookout for their new flavors and brain booster nootropics that are coming soon. We absolutely love Transfuse from top to bottom, one of the best companies in the world with the greatest people running it. So head on over and become a part of their community and check them out.
What's going on, PTG fam? Thank you guys so much for tuning into the show. This episode, we have VG from Sacramento DMG. I'm really excited about this episode. This one has been a long time coming. VG is an absolute inspiration to pretty much anybody pursuing a professional role in paintball. The things he's overcome and where he came from to get to where he is now is just really second to none. So without further ado, we're going to hop in the show. I know you guys are going to enjoy this one. All right, see you in there.
That was an insane inside move by Marcelo Margot. Great communication. And the crowd starts chanting Harmon. Great shot by all the guys. So Tyler Harmon saved that game. He came out with 2 wins. Marcelo Margot was on fire.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this one has been a long time coming. I'm really excited to have my good friend Luis Villota, a.k.a. VG, here on the scene, one of the Colombian paintball players that really is a true inspiration and true, representation of heart, grit, dedication to the game, and really what it takes to reach the highest levels. And you just had your first pro tournament, made your pro debut with DMG out there in Orlando, so we knew we had to get you on the show. Like I said, it's been a long time coming. My man, VG, how you doing?
Welcome.
Thank you, March. Thank you, Ty, for having me.
Dude,
it's been
yes,
great,
sir.
dude. It's been pretty much 2 years. We've been talking about it, but
Yeah.
we were never able to make it happen. And finally, I got some internet connection, so we're here. And
Well, we're glad to have you on, VG.
Thank you,
You
guys.
truly are an inspiration to the paintball game, what you've done and accomplished, and playing your first pro tournament out there
Yeah.
in Florida after so many years of hard work and just relentless pursuit of your goal to play at the top of the game. So it's truly amazing to have you on the show and be able to get your story out to the world, because you also come from paintball family in Colombia, if I'm not mistaken. There's
Yep.
a field out there that your family is a part of as well, right?
Yeah, so it's a long story. Like, it goes back to I don't even remember when, but it's like 1994 or something.
Wow.
So it's like my family was always involved in the military and shooting guns and stuff like that. So the first field that we ever had or were part of was my dad and my uncle came here to the United States to get some paintball guns, and they used that to train soldiers. I'm talking about 1994. I barely remember this. And
Yeah.
then that was the first field that I'm aware of in Colombia. And it was like CO2 cartridges, like little pump. It was bad, dude. I was just hiding behind my dad in the bushes and just didn't even know what I was doing, but I was playing paintball in my mind.
Yeah. How old were you at this moment?
I'm like 7.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, and that's a memory you'll never forget.
No,
Those first
never.
moments of
Never,
being
dude.
in the thicket out there in the woods, just having fun.
Dude, doing just random stuff like shooting bee nests, like
Oh no.
hornets, and then shooting that and then running away with my dad. It was so big. It was this abandoned carbon mine
Mm-hmm.
where where they're like an abandoned mine, and it was also
Yeah.
bushes and stuff, and it was so big that you could be like 3 to 4 hours without seeing anyone.
Oh
So
my
I would
gosh.
be just hiding with my dad. Like, they had like radios or something, and there was no cell phones, and we were just, I don't know. In my mind, I was playing paintball, but I never got to shoot anybody. Never got shot. I just had a little pump gun with CO2, and then I was just shooting with like 12 volts a day or something, and
Amazing.
that was it for me, man. That's how it started.
And so this field was the first field in Colombia. Is
The
that
first
right?
I'm aware of, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
That was Montero's paintball. That was the owner of that field was my dad's friend, and then we started playing there. Then like Colombia has a background of a lot of violence and stuff, so that owner got kidnapped, and then they closed that field, so we couldn't play anymore. But we still had some stuff, so we will play in my grandma's backyard with my dad. We'll play like that, and then my uncle was I remember my uncle had an automac That was like my first big gun, and he'll be like, okay, if you mow the grass, I'll let you shoot my gun. So I'll jump in this little tractor, mow his grass. I was so tiny and so light that I like the grass mower had like a safety feature where you have to sit
Yeah.
on top, and they had to put like weight on top of me so I could activate the grass mower. And then I'll be like driving that thing, and then like he'll let me shoot the automatic, and I'll be shooting what I'm saying, like the bees or like whatever, like shooting oranges and stuff. And then that was painful for me. But I was always into shooting guns. Like I had little BB guns. I will actually make with PVC and like rubber gloves. I will like duct tape, and then I'll make like my own guns. I'll shoot seeds or rocks. Like I was always making stuff to play and shoot. I was always saying that I was playing paintball, and I
Yeah.
was just shooting whatever.
Wow. It's amazing.
You made it
man.
work, you know?
Yeah.
That is so funny.
It ended up working.
We used to do different things, but so similar as kids. We'd run around, and here we say it's like playing cops and robbers.
Yeah.
And so like in any way possible, whether it was with BB guns or squirt guns or water balloons, there was always the like, I'm trying to eliminate you by hitting you with something that I'm
Exactly.
aiming with.
Exactly.
And that, I think that's, paintball is the epitome of that. We get to do that in a safe way, as a sport. And you were finding ways to pretend to actually play paintball, which I think is, kind of funny. Yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty much that. I couldn't see anything with the shape of a gun, because I will just take it and start like pretending I was shooting it. And squirt guns are the water ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had them all. Like every model, dude. I had them all.
I had them all.
So,
I love that. Dude,
Well,
that's why.
No wonder you are, stepping onto that pro field, man.
Working my way into it, yeah.
That's why I'm so excited to have you on, VG, because obviously I've been friends with you for a long time. When did we first meet? It's been about 10 years, I want to say.
It was the first time I met you, like personal. It was funny because I used to watch your videos and I thought you were like an adult. And then like I was watching like you playing in Ironman like 2007, 2008. And I was like, damn, this guy's good. And then I'll watch you. And then you came to Colombia for the first time. It was 2013 when you played with Dynasty, that we played in the finals.
Yeah.
And then I was like, hey, he's just like me. He's like my age. I thought he was like, I don't know, like he was older, like he had a beard or something. And he's just like me. He's a kid.
Yeah, I was like 22 years old then.
Yeah, I did your clinic. That's something I always did, was like whenever there were American pros there, like Oliver, Nicky. I mean, I have to do another podcast just to name how many pro clinics I've been to.
Amazing. Okay.
We won't be able to do this in an hour, but like, so I remember I did your clinic, and then it was a Dynasty clinic, and then you approached me at the end. I was sponsored by Planet Eclipse, and then you gave me your Ironman, because you were playing with Ironman. You gave me your bandana, and I still have it in Colombia, of course. And it said, like, you told me like, hey, you were the best student of the clinic. If I give you this, will you keep it? And I was like, I'll keep it, but I cannot wear it. And then like I kept it, and it says like, for Luis, like for this, like the best student of the clinic, whatever, like thank you. And then I had it with my medals, and I never wore it because he was died, right? But I mean, I kept it. And then I sent you a picture, like, I don't know when. Actually, you saw it when you went to my house, like 5 years.
Yeah,
after.
I saw it at your house. Yeah,
it was right there with my medals. It's still there.
I was blown away. It's so cool.
Yeah,
but that's what I was gonna say about you though, VG. Is for me, your story is so inspiring, because a lot of players make excuses and they find reasons as to why they can't reach the top. They say, I'm not in a good area. There's not a lot of paintball around me. There's not a lot of opportunity. There's no pro teams in my city. Yeah. And where you have come from and how far you have traveled and how much you have done to make it work with the resources you had is super inspiring. And it started with your innate just desire to gather information, which is why you went to all these clinics. You are, I think it was 2019 with the Golden State Kings when we let you coach our team.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Right. And this was, that's a team of essentially superstars. You've got like Archie, Ryan, Blake, a bunch of high level players that are on this organization. And we trusted you to come in and coach. And crazy. That's a massive, massive tip of the hat right there. Right. And the reason for that is because anytime we have paintball conversation with you, it's like you're an encyclopedia. You know, you've watched every game, and I mean every game,
Yeah,
probably more
that's
than
the only
once.
reason I have a
Yeah.
TV. The only thing that is played there, it's just the whatever the webcast, the whatever paintball related. Is the only
Yeah.
thing I use it for.
Yeah. And I mean, even after you gained access to all of the pros, you've obviously been our peers. You've played with us
Yeah.
when we come down and play with Tsunami. Big shout out to Tsunami, the
Oh
whole
yeah,
team, the
man.
whole
I love
organization.
him.
I know we'll get into that a little bit
Yeah.
here too, but so you've played with a lot of the top players as well. So you understand how they like to practice and train and approach events.
Hmm.
But really it's the willingness you have to learn about paintball is why you are sitting where you're at now. You're, I think, up in, Northern California playing with DMG. Really you've accomplished the paintball dream in a sense, right? There's still a lot of work to do. I know you
Oh yeah.
understand that, but like, my goodness,
So well, there's two roads we can take there, but let's go for the first one. It's like, yeah, for me it was surprising because for me guns are an equalizer, right? Like whenever I shoot guns, like if I go shooting, it's like, well, I don't know, I don't care if whatever whoever, because I used to do competitive shooting when I was growing up, and I will face adults, and I was like 10 years 12 years old, and I was getting medals and stuff, and I'll always remember, like, yeah, the gun is the biggest equalizer. But then when I started getting into competitive paintball around when I was done with college, I had a little jump into trying to join the army. Didn't really like it. Like Colombia, it's really complex. Like I didn't want to fight my own people. It's I mean, it's a conversation for another day. But then when I started competing in paintball, like actually competing, not just playing in the bushes with my dad, I was like, how come is Oliver Lang so much better than me? Like it's ridiculous. Or Marcelo. Well, the first one I met was Oli and Nikki, and then I was like, wow, like I was just because I'll play in Colombia and I'll be good. Like yeah, like we will have good matches against the Wild Dogs and stuff, but I'll be top five, let's say, whatever. I mean, I'll be good. But then I see Nikki and Oliver, and I'm like, wow, dude, like. I see these guys in magazines and stuff, but
Yeah.
it's like they're so much better. Like, how if we both have guns? Like, there's so much I don't know. And I started just whenever someone will come here, like I'll tell them, like, get me a magazine, like get me something where I can like understand what they do, because we didn't have access to many videos back then. So it will be like I have all their videos, all the um, monkey with a gun, all that stuff. I have them all because I'll get those DVDs and watch. I remember little Tyler in the Snake getting coached by Bob Long, that he was tiny, and then I'll be
Yeah.
like, okay, what do they do here? Like how? And that's like, and it's like it's never ending. Like the more I know,
Mhm.
the more I realize I don't know anything. So it's like, okay,
Mhm.
so it's like a challenge, and like what you're saying, trying to leave a legacy, right? So
Yeah.
the Golden
Hey,
State, oh, yep.
VG, I want to know when you did these trainings, what was some of the big aha moments that you had when you did train with, Marcelo, Oliver, Nikki,
Dude,
and start to put the pieces of the game together and become that next level player?
every time, dude. So I remember Oliver told me, like, you're really smart, like you really understand, and I was like, damn. And I told my teammates, like, you see, like you gotta listen to me, man. Like he's saying that I'm good. Like you
Yeah.
gotta listen to me. It's so like every time, dude. Like I remember. So Marcelo went one of the timeless. Like how many times you went there? Like a lot, right? Where you played like whole
Yeah.
seasons with us.
Oh yeah.
So one of the times you were like, hey, he told me you and David are really good. I want you. I want to have you guys in San Diego, and I want to train with you. And I was like, I mean, we used to play, but I never thought this was achievable. Like I always wanted it, but I had a good job. Like I have two bachelor degrees. Like you know what I mean. Like I
Amazing.
have a good life in Colombia. It's not like
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like I was like, well, this is cool, but like, am I ever gonna leave? Like Marcelo lives there. I'm like, maybe, maybe not. But then Marcelo told me, like, I want to coach you, and I was like, David, we gotta do this. Like, and we were like, yeah, like we were like trying to work it out, but we had jobs, so it's not like I can just take a week off and go to San Diego and practice with Marcelo, right? And then it's like, but then in 2018, I played 17 and 18, so we changed sponsors, so we couldn't. And then Marcelo, I think they changed sponsors too. So Eclipse was the one like doing that making that work or whatever, because like we don't have the resources to be flying someone to play a tournament. It's like, people don't realize how expensive and how hard it is to play paintball down there, but it's like $1 is 4,000 Colombian pesos.
Wow.
So if I'm gonna buy a CS2, it's gonna cost me 4 times more. Plus, our wage is like, like the monthly wage in Colombia is like $250 a month, like the lowest. So it's like it's hard. Like people don't realize it, and I don't want to dig into that, but it's hard. So then we ended up changing sponsors. Team and Tresor. I mean, I cannot say good enough things of him, like how he helped my team grow. And then he started bringing Fedorov because team could never come. So Fedorov told me like, why don't you play pro? And I'm like, what do you mean? Why don't I play pro? Because I don't know. Because I'm a
Damn.
Division 3 Colombian player. Like, why?
Hmm.
How would I jump from here to pro? And he was like, just go there. And I was like, well, okay. So that's 2018, and I told David, he's my one of my best friends. He plays for DC Arsenal now, and
Mm-hmm.
I told him like, dude, like he's saying like we're good, and then we I mean all my teammates, dude, like I mean I love them all, like Pipe, like all of them, like well Jaime, it's in Spain now, so I was telling them like guys, we like I mean this is the second time like a top 5 pro player is telling us we're good, so we gotta like start doing it. And then David is probably crazier than me. He started coming here and he started playing for Revo, like Division 2 Revo or something. And we were like, yeah, this is what we gotta do. But it was always in and out, because we had lives. You know what I mean? We had everything. We had girlfriends, jobs, like careers, everything. And we at some point, Fedorov was like the breaking point. Fedorov and team, they were like, dude, like you gotta do it. So
Those are
that's
two of the best guys ever,
yeah,
man.
dude, it's like, for
Yeah.
example, I remember Timon Tresor, his communication was amazing. And then we played one event together and we win at 2-on-5.
Sheesh. Let's
And
go.
then we're playing against other pros. I think he shot them all. Maybe I shot one. But
Yeah, Timmy.
I
Let's go.
told him where everyone was
Yeah.
and like what was happening. And at the end of the
Hmm.
point, he told me like, dude, I have yet to see that communication in the pro level. Like, you are good at this. And I was like, wow, dude, like I keep hearing that. I'm like, okay, let's do it. So 2019, I just dropped everything. Well, a couple of years prior, I bought that field because I used to work there and help and coach and stuff. So I
Down in
bought,
Colombia.
yeah, down in Colombia.
Yeah.
So the
Cali
last
paintball.
owner, yeah, Cali Paintball was the new inception of what used to be Monteros back in the day. It's, I mean, a lot of
Of
changes.
course. Yeah.
And I used to be there all the time drilling and stuff. And like the customers will be like, hey, are you the owner? Like I'll help people, like teach them, coach them without like, I mean, rental players. And I'll be like, this is how you hold your gun. Like if you want to just, because it was heavy for them or something. And they were like, are you the owner? And I was like, no. Like if the media will come, I'll speak, because the owner didn't want to be there or he had another job or something. And he wasn't really like into like talking to people and stuff.
Dude,
So
you're good for paintball, VG. You're so good for paintball, man.
I
And
tried it. Thank you.
dude, the game is so lucky to have you because even everywhere we go, you're just an amazing member of the community. I mean,
Thank you, dude.
at the very base level, you just have such a great energy that you bring to the whole entire sport. So thank you for everything that you do. And I
Thank
want you
you,
to
dude.
keep telling your story, but I just had to say that.
Yeah, yeah, no, thank you, and I love that. That's let's
Let's
go.
go.
There you go,
So it's
VG.
like, I mean, my dad is a doctor and my mom is a teacher. Like, I have to
Mm.
serve. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's in my blood, right? And like, all my grandpas were in the military. Like, I mean, it's in me. Like, I like to
Mhm.
serve people, and like, I like to make people better around me, right? Like, and it's like, I feel it's the best thing we can do, right? It's like, if we're here and we're not like serving others, like serving a purpose to help others, it's like it's wasted, right? So I use paintball
Mhm.
as a vehicle for that. So I've had shy students, I have everything,
Mhm.
and now like they have scholarships in college, stuff like that. And it's like, man, everything through paintball, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, a couple years prior, so I used to work at the field, coach new kids. We were doing high school tournaments, college tournaments. I would go into the everything, like have all the high schools from the area just playing a tournament, and we will give them rental guns and they'll play college tournaments, all this, whatever you can imagine. I'll be like just knocking doors and tell them like, hey, this is paintball, like
That's awesome.
this is good. I'll have companies, dude, like team bonding, like big companies. And then like 4 years after, like the owner is like, yeah, dude, like I don't know, like he has 3 kids now. He's one of my good friends, but he has 3 kids now. He'll be like, hey, I don't think I want to do this anymore. Do you think you want to buy the field? I was like, oh my god. So I mean, of course I don't have the money, right? So I'm like, because I use all my money to play paintball. So I'm like, okay, so how do we do it? So I have my good friend Pipe. He could afford a credit for that, so he did the credit in my name.
Shout out to Pipe, by the way.
Yeah, dude.
Pipe is the man. I owe so much to Pipe for the amazing
Yeah.
experiences he showed me with you guys in Colombia.
Yeah, dude.
The way he's just opened his arms and been so hospitable to
Yeah, dude.
the Tsunami organization and any of us that go down there. Pipe
Yeah.
is the man. If you listen to this, shout out to Pipe. We'd love to
I
get him on
hope
here
he
one time
listens,
too.
dude. Yeah, dude. Like,
But
he's like one of my big brothers. Like, I mean, now it's just like, man, I cannot say good things about him. So we were like, hey, dude, like we cannot let the field die. Like, he used to be one of the original players from the original field, from the guy that got kidnapped. So we really love paintball, and I was like, dude, I'm willing to put, like, I don't have the money, but I'm willing to put my work, and we did it. So we bought the field, and then I'm like, I left my job. I'm like, I'm just gonna focus on paintball, dude. Like, whatever it takes to pay this credit, because I didn't want to let Pipe down, because he did the credit for me, right? Of course, he did it to play paintball and everything, but he trusted me with his name in front of the bank. So I was like, man, this means so much. I need to keep up and like keep up with the pace. So I'm just into paintball, teaching clinics, traveling. 2019, I played man, 20, 23 events, and I was
Dude,
getting
good for
paid.
you.
Yeah, dude. Like I'll go to Spain to teach
That's
clinics.
awesome. Yeah.
Like, I mean, and I was getting paid, and all that money I'll come back, just put it in the credit for the field, right? So my team could have a place to practice. So I renewed all the grass, new bunkers. We didn't have new bunkers for a while. Everything, dude. Like, I mean, Marcelo knows the field. It's just like, I mean, you can play without pads. It's like, I
that
mean,
grass was amazing.
it's good, dude. So I'll be like, I want to feel I want to feel that I want to play there. You know what I mean? So I made a feel like to my expectations as a player, and we ended up doing that. So yeah, as I was saying, like 2019, I played 23 events, teach however many clinics it's possible. I still had my other job. I was a business sales manager for an insurance company, one of the biggest insurance companies in Colombia. So I remember I went to pick up Marcelo from the airport once, and I was wearing a tie and a suit, and Marcelo was like, "Damn, I didn't know you like that." And I was like, "Yeah, this is what pays for paintball." But then, like, I always had it on the side because I needed it to pay the credit, but I was just doing it for like to like afford my quota and then just be able to travel and stuff.
And that field was on the East Coast, is that right?
Yeah, we only so Colombia, it's in the middle of the Pacific and the Atlantic. So yeah, it's more like toward the Pacific.
I see.
It's in the west.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
how is the paintball scene in Colombia these days?
it's sad, man. That's one of the biggest reasons I'm here. So that's well, fast forwarding, 2019 is when I coached them in Europe, because I was in Europe all the time playing with these teams that were flying me and paying me to be there, right? So I'm like, damn, this is unreal. So I remember when we were kids, we would go to Dynasty pits and we'll help Ryan, because we played with Ryan a long time ago, and then David was like, "Hey, the Dynasty guys, Marcelo just hit me up. Like, they need help in the pit." I was like, "Okay, cool." So I went with a pod bag, right? And I'm with a pod bag, like waiting to help him. And then Marcelo is like, "Hey, dude, like, can you help us?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm here. I'm ready, dude. Like, I have the pod bag and everything." And he was like, "No, can you watch what they're doing?" And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Cool." I didn't even have layouts because I went with a pod bag. I was gonna pick up pods. And then so we're playing Kiev United, and Fedorov is the coach. So I go to the other side, ask Fedorov for layouts. Like, we're playing against him. I come back with photo of layouts, and I'm like, hey, dude, listen. Like they're playing Kid Round and Team Montrez are on the same side, but Team is changing sides at the end because they were playing Doritos and Snake, but they were just overpowering us on the Snake side. And then Marcelo was like, oh shit, that's why we were losing 2-0. And then Archie was like, who's this guy? And then Blake was like, just listen to him. And then like everybody was like, okay, so let's focus on shooting the Snake, whatever. And we're losing 2-0. We end up winning like 4-2 or something. And then for the next game, Archie was like, hey, are you coming for the next game? And I was like, yeah, dude, of course. Like, nice to meet you.
Again, really quick, just I want to like hit home for the listener so they can, kind of understand something that you've always brought to the table. Again, it's your knowledge for the game, right? You have good fundamentals, you have good skills, you do play very well. But for me personally, your best asset is your mind for the game. And that was apparent from like day one. And it's because you've been such a sponge with the pros around you and all the resources you've had. I think it kind of started in Colombia. I remember, I was coming down there playing with you guys. And when we were having those conversations of, coming to the US and trying to train and advance your paintball career, that was when you started traveling internationally. I feel like you started going to like Ecuador, and that was when it really started to blow up for you. Is you would play in the nearby region, but guesting with other teams, and they would pay you to come and kind of be like a player coach, because you understood the logistics of like game planning, strategy, managing a group, a whole team. That was your strength, and it kind of started to just really blossom really fast.
Yeah. And I learned that from you. I think, I mean, I always saw paintball like there was so much to it, like so much to just shooting. And I'll be like the strategy on this is amazing. So I think I have every paintball book there is.
There's not many paintball books.
Well, there's like 3, and I have them all, and I have yours.
Yeah.
Right?
So he's got them all.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean,
Okay,
I gotta send you a picture. It's like one, it's from Oliver or something. It's like Paintball 101. It's old, and I have all that stuff. No, that's a DVD, but I have one that it's called like Paintball 101. It's tiny, and then I have yours and your book. I was like, this is so much to learn about this, and I'm like, and this is my friend. Like he's just as me, but he knows so much. So I'm like, if I started doing the same, like I'm just gonna break down games and like, and I'll be just. It's just like it's hard because you don't find many people to talk about it. Right now, like on DMG, I found some friends that are like that, so like I can share that. But sometimes I'll be FaceTiming Marcelo, like, "Hey, dude, watch this! Like, watch what they're doing," and then he'll be like, "Yeah, they're like, we've realized that. Like, I mean, I'm glad you noticed that." And I'm like, "Isn't that crazy? Like, why would the Russians do that?" And he'll be like, "Yeah, dude." And Ryan too. Like I'll just send something to Ryan, and he'll be like, "Yeah, thank you, dude." Like sometimes when I couldn't travel to tournaments or something, I'll just send him like, "Hey guys, like like you're switching sides on the A or something." I'm talking about the A. I'm talking about like TSP.
Yeah.
And then Ryan will be like, "Oh, so that's why." And I was like, "Yeah, dude. Like you gotta stay committed to one side." And then Ryan will laugh, like we're FaceTiming, but I'm telling him like, "Yeah, tell A-Rod to be disciplined on that side." And Ryan will laugh, and then he'll be like,
Yeah.
"But
Good
he'll be
luck.
grateful I was telling him that, right?" And he mentioned this in his show once when I went to help Impact for the last 2 years.
Yeah, you traded on us. Exactly. I was going to get to that. We
No,
built you up. We
no,
taught you all
never.
the stuffs. And then you go and all of a sudden, next
No,
thing we see at World Cup, you're in Impact's pit as their assistant coach
no, it
at the
was
World
before
Cup.
that. It
Was it
was
before
before
that? It was
that.
before World Cup 2020?
You
I thought
already
that was the
knew.
first one.
No, so that was the first one. So what happened was that I don't know. We're right now in COVID, right? Like
Okay.
everything. 2019 is beautiful, right? Like it's just what I'm telling. Like I played
Golden State
two,
Kings
yeah,
coaching us
Golden
over
State
there. You're playing
Kings,
all over the place.
23 events, getting paid, traveling to Spain, dude. Like how many people have gone to Spain to play paintball from Colombia, right? I'm coaching a clinic, playing a tournament, getting paid, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. And then COVID, and I'm like, wow, like I just turned my life and just made it work to play paintball and maybe have a job on the side to be able to afford it or something. But I'm just playing paintball half of the year. 23 events, it's like out of 54 weeks, whatever has a year, right? So I'm like, wow. So I'm in this dark place.
22.
Yeah, so this is like when I first started hearing about the podcast, and I was talking to Tim, rest in peace, Tim. He was trying to learn Spanish, and he'll be like, "Man, I'm so bored," because he was gonna play an event with us, and then it got canceled because of COVID. So we were talking about it, and he downloaded this app Duolingo. I don't know if you guys know it.
Yeah.
So
Familiar
he's
with
like,
that.
yeah, dude, I'm trying to learn Spanish. I was like, yeah, dude, anytime. Just like, I'm just sitting here in my house doing anything. Just hit me up and I'll help you with your Spanish. And then he'll be like, yeah, when are you coming to play here? And I was like, dude, I don't know. Like, our borders are closed. I want to, but then, I mean, I don't know. I can even go to my field that it's 5 minutes away from my house. So, like, I mean, the grass is just beating me. Like, the grass is growing without any control. I just imagine the jungle, how it's gonna be when I come back. And then we're having these conversations, like we're talking about it, like helping him learn Spanish, and then he passes away. And I'm like, oh wow, this is, I mean, like, this is life. Like, I've seen death pretty close because, as I said before, like, my family's been in the military, my grandparents, like, I've had friends. I had a brief tour, but it's like, man, like, life. My dad is a doctor, so it's like life is short. And then when Tim passed, and we're talking about coming here, I'm like, I need to do something, right? I'm trapped here, but I need to figure out a way to get there. So we went into this conversation, like the field. I was just trying to afford all the expenses from the field by myself. So it's like I had 3 employees, the credits, rent, everything by myself without any income from either my job or from the field. So I just gathered the guys and I told them, like, hey, like, the more consistent players, Tsunami, Cartel, like all the players from the field. We had like 6 teams. I'm like, hey guys,
Cartel's the name of a team down there, just for
yeah,
everybody
yeah,
listening.
yeah, yeah. It's yeah. I never liked that name, but they're my friends. And
I think it's a cool name.
I don't know, man. It
Yeah.
can get confused. But no, none of our friends has nothing to do with that. Like, we're all just normal working people. If that was the case, probably we'll have a bigger field or something.
Maybe
So
one day. Maybe one day we'll get lucky enough.
I don't know, man. That's scary. So I talk to them and I tell them, like, hey, I don't know what to do with my life. I'm in this dark place. Like, I'm just, man, like, I'm doing nothing, just waiting for the podcast to be released, like, to hear something about paintball. I watched the 2020 Vegas event like 5 times, like all the Go Sports, and I was like, dude, what do I do with my life now?
That was right about after, like, I think April or March of
Yeah,
2020 was when we aired our first episode.
yeah,
So it's
April. Yep.
April, yeah.
April.
It's been a couple of years now,
Yeah,
coming up on 2 years here shortly.
Dang,
yeah,
dude.
dude.
Yeah, man, and it was crazy times, and Tim's energy is still with us, and
Yeah,
I see a lot of the best aspects of Tim and you as well, VG. The way that
thank you.
your heart is just open to the game, you connect so much love in this game from so many people around the world, like you said, and not only like you've had all these blessings in paintball and being able to play all over the world, but it's because of your passion for being better at this and then helping to grow this amazing game. Because as you know, it's a life changer. I'm sure that this game has saved your life in so many ways.
Oh yeah,
And I know it saved my life in so many ways, and Marcelo's, and so many people out there around the world. So that's one of the biggest things is like we have just so much love pouring in to this game because of the amazing things that it does for our lives.
yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
So I felt like, yeah, I owed so much to the game, stuff that I never did, like, because maybe I wasn't brave enough before. When Marcelo told me, like, hey, come to San Diego, I want to coach you, I was like, damn, but I gotta leave my job. Like, I just left college, and like now I have this good job, and I'm in, like, so quote unquote called the comfort zone or whatever, and I have a good life here, right? Like, it's like a good house, a good car, like everything, dude. And it's like, but then, like, what we were saying, like, everything was so fragile. Like, all of a sudden I closed my eyes and I didn't have anything, none of the what I have, or none of in the future. Like, I couldn't see anything. I couldn't see more paintball tournaments. I was like, what am I gonna do, like, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, they come up with this. I've always been. I was a founding member of BKI, like one of the first ones with
I did
Grayson
not
and,
know that.
yeah,
Oh, wow.
with Grayson and Scott Kemp. Actually, Grayson still owed me a teacher because I asked the first question.
A
I
t-shirt. Give this man his t-shirt.
Yeah, I asked the first question. We used to have like Zoom meetings, but it wasn't Zoom.
Yeah.
And Grayson was like, "Okay, whoever asks the first question, I'm gonna give him a T-shirt." And Grayson never gave it to me.
Oh,
And
we
He
getting
was
that
like, "Oh
t-shirt.
man, we got to ship that to Colombia."
Yeah.
he used to come a lot to play with us.
Yeah.
Dude, Grayson, Dr. G, that's what I call him. He's the man.
Yeah, Scotty, dude. Scotty helped me a lot
Scotty
too.
Kemp.
He was one
Yeah.
of my first clinics too, with Brandon
Mhm.
Short. Yeah, it's been
Legends.
so many clinics, dude. So
Legends.
I'm like, all this is happening. So I tell my guys, like, hey, we need to do something because I don't think I'm gonna be able to keep affording the field by myself. And like, the only reason I have a field, honestly, is for you guys to play because I wasn't here 50% of the year last year. So it's at the end, like, I'm barely enjoying my field. It's for the teams. And we had a bunch of money because Tsunami used to win a lot, dude. Like, I mean, and we used to play with the cartel guys, and it was pretty much half of our still. So Ernicito and Basti, like, they came from cartel to Tsunami, and then like we merged. And at the end of the day, all the prize money will be from both teams, right?
Yeah.
So it was kind of a complicated situation, but we were able to pay Pipe's credit. At least we had some other ones that, I mean, we still have. I still have some credits, right? So every time I can, I just send money to down pay that and just keep it like that. But we were able to pay that credit. That was the one more stressful for me. Pipe was like running the field, and I think here is where where the impact part comes in. They launched this BKI clinic and they said like, yeah, we're gonna have a clinic and the MVP is gonna play with Dynasty. And I'm like, this is a great chance for me, dude. Like, Aero just left, I play the middle. I'm gonna do it. Like, I think I can do that. And if they coach me, I'm just gonna be so much better that I'm gonna be able to do it. So I just close my eyes, come here. The borders are closed. I try to go to Ecuador. I couldn't because there was like a little war in the border. So I come back. I ended up meeting these guys from the army. They helped me out. Like, I come back to, they drive me. So where I live, it's Cali. It's near Ecuador. So I take a bus. I try to get a flight. So Chiki, one of my friends from Ecuador, he's trying to help me get a flight from Ecuador because Colombian borders were closed forever. So I couldn't do it. I came back. These guys from the army helped me. I go to Bogota, and then I get into a plane in Bogota. I don't even know how. And then Ryan was writing me letters. I think Marcelo wrote me letters. Anthony from BKI. Shout out to Anthony and Larry. They've been super helpful for me.
They're the best.
Dude,
Yeah.
they gave me letters, and I got this scholarship from the clinic. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I gotta go there. So I go to that clinic, and I'm willing to die there because I'm fighting for a spot. So I'm like, yeah, I misunderstood maybe. So I'm just fighting hard.
Misunderstood. You're sure? I'm like, what are
Yeah.
you talking about? A spot on Dynasty? I
Yeah,
don't think that was even.
remember, we played a 10-man together, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
So I was like, I don't know what to do with my life, but what I know is that I want to play paintball. I'm just gonna let paintball guide me. So I just
Dude,
left.
BG, I didn't know until right now that you thought that it was for a spot on Dynasty.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I was like, well, I mean, yeah, I'll do it.
Dude, that's dedication right there.
That
Do you
is,
hear
dude.
that?
That's
Dude,
amazing.
so
Damn.
it was
That's
like
dedication.
10 people.
Yeah.
I won the MVP and I went to play the 10-man with you guys. And
Yeah.
then I was like, yeah, dude. And then like everybody was leaving and I was like, whoa, what do I do now? And everybody was like, I was living with Harrison Fry, had me in his house for like a month. Dude, shout out to Harrison too. Like, just like, I told him like, hey dude, I need your help. Like, I'm going to this tryout clinic, whatever. I need your help. And he was like, yeah, sure. In the middle of COVID, dude.
Yeah.
And he had me just like that, dude. So I go.
Harrison is a good man.
Yeah.
He'll give you the
I've
shirt
had him
off
in
his
my
back, dude.
house.
He
So
really will.
I've had him in my
Yeah.
house before, and I used to set up the layout, and like he will be like playing in Colombia or something, and then he'll either playing against us or with my team. He'll go and we used to maybe practice the layouts, and then he'll go to practice with Thunder back in the day, and he'll already had some reps in the
Yeah.
layout from my
Dude, I did
field.
not know this. We won that 10-man tournament together, VG.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
remember
there.
exactly.
that?
Yeah. And then
That was good.
and then Harrison took you under his wing. He's done some questionable things. I love Harrison. I think he's
done some
amazing.
questionable.
But shout out to the Pacicado God. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
man, yeah, that was him and his
Yeah,
family,
dude.
his wife.
Yeah, he's amazing. So, damn. So then that's where your journey really started then
Yeah,
after that 10-man tournament. Bro,
that
we
was
won that
before.
together. That was
Yeah,
crazy.
that was before. So after that, everybody leaves, and I'm like, okay. So I had a scholarship for the summer camp. So I stayed with Harrison. I do the summer camp, and then we won that tournament with Marcelo. And I told Marcelo, like, hey, remember, I need to play for Dynasty. And he was like, yeah, the first step has to be you have to win the MVP of this tournament too. I was like, okay. So I fucking go. Can I say that? Oh,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
bad.
You just did, baby.
You
My
just
bad.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I
No,
mean,
you're
I know
good.
we have kids watching. Don't say
VG,
that.
you said you listened to every episode. Clearly,
Yeah,
I
you know
know,
that we
but
use
You-
that.
I
Yeah,
don't
it's okay.
clearly
remember
you
people
know.
cursing.
You're
So
good.
so I go and like we win that tournament, and I have so many good memories because I remember one move. We were losing in the semifinals to Ryan's team, and it's like 2-on-4. And Igor, who is a player for the Hunters, he's pretty good. He's a Russian dude. Like he's probably my age, but he's pretty good. He comes and practices here. He dives like it's a 2-on-4, and like I'm with Chip. It's a little kid that plays for our
Yep.
team.
Shout out to Chip. He plays on my New York team now. They just won the D3
Yeah,
event
dude,
with Wrecking
he's
Crew.
great. So he's in the snake corner, and I'm in the Dorito corner. 2-on-4. It's 1-1, and we're about to lose the semifinals. And I was like, damn, Marcelo's
We
gonna
weren't about to
kill me.
lose the semifinals. We had a whole nother deal going.
So it's like Igor dives into my Dorito, and I'm in the Dorito corner, and I'm like, what are you doing, dude? So I just go bunker him, stay alive, kill the middle brick, and then kill the other guy feeling, and I just start talking to Chip. It was a 2-on-4, and now it's a 2-on-1. And I can see, like, when I'm trying to look at Chip, I can see Marcelo in the sideline just jumping, and like he knew we won. And I was like, damn, he's proud of me. He's my coach, dude. And then we won that, and I was like, yeah, this is it. I mean, I'm making progress. And then everybody left, and like we didn't know what was gonna happen. Like nobody, and I was like, what do I do now? And then Harrison was like, yeah, like I think I'm gonna go to Alaska for a month because I'm gonna take a break from paintball. And I'm like, wow, what do I do now? Like I cannot come back to Colombia because the borders are closed. And I'm in the middle of that for a couple of weeks, and then I see the DMG tryouts. I don't know anyone here. Oh, I take that back. I know Kevin from the summer camp, Kevin Gorczynski, and we became friends because we were both. I had some pain in my hamstring, and that so I was like, hey, we became friends because I had ibuprofen or something, and like he had something on his knee, and we became friends like that. And I tell him like, hey, dude, I have this tryout for DMG. I'm just gonna buy a one-way ticket. Can you maybe have me at your house while I get into your tryouts to figure something out? He was like, yeah, for sure. So he picked me up with his girlfriend. I stayed there. I tried out. And then when I tried out, they told me like I had the potential, but I wasn't ready to play project. And that I also had to live here because that's like a mandatory. I was like, I don't know if I can live here because I'm from Colombia, right? So it's
Mhm.
like, that doesn't work like that. But I'm willing to commit. And he was like, yeah, I like this story. I mean, you've come far. Like, you have some skills, but like, you're not ready yet. I was like, okay. So I committed to that, and that's how I ended up going with Impact. Because in conversations with Dave, Bart couldn't come because it was the COVID year and something,
Mhm. Mhm.
and I guess Dave needed help because it's really stressful to run a team, right? Like to be a
Oh
coach
yeah,
and everything.
absolutely.
And I just went and I started scouting for them, and then when the Dynasty guys realized was when they came for their first practice here, and I was here, and then
Yeah.
Marcelo was like, "Oh, like you're not playing, you're now helping the enemy." I was like, "Dude, like what do you want me to do? I'm trying to survive." And now they're taking good care of me, man.
Yeah.
Like I mean I love Dynasty, but it is
I
what it is. Like
remember I remember that weekend. I remember seeing you for the first time out there and
yeah,
just knowing that, with your dedication and your passion to this game that you were going to step on that pro field, man, and what a dream come true to
thank you.
have
You
made that
you've been
happen.
always telling me, and I told Marcelo. So, I mean, shout out to Dave and his family, Duffy and his family, dude, Karen,
Top
everyone, dude.
notch. Best people in the
Dave's
world.
wife, Janie,
Yeah.
like everybody that's been helping me here, all the DMG guys, like I mean, Marv, all the DMG guys, Dylan, they've been helping me a lot.
That's
But
such an amazing group of people. And
yeah, exactly.
that's where I grew up. I don't know if you know
I
that about
know.
me,
Yeah, we've
VG.
talked about that.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's for me, it's crazy because I used to see that field in videos, and then
Yeah.
like I'm practicing here, and like I'm having this conversation. And then I told the Dynasty guys, like, yeah, well, so why didn't you pick me up? And then Ryan was like, because we already have a Mexican. I was like, I'm not Mexican, dude, I'm Colombian. And then
Jesus.
we used to joke about that because they had Arturo.
We need
And then
we need all walks of life on the paintball team from all corners of
exactly,
the world. You know what I mean?
yeah, dude. And now
It's
Dynasty has a
Your boy
Cuban.
Ryan.
We're
He's
getting
not
closer.
quite up to par with 2022.
I mean, we don't take offense on that. It's all love. And Ryan's been to South America a lot. So yeah, it ended up working huge for me because Dave just took me under his wing with Duffy like I was their little brother, dude. Like I cannot express how good they've been to me, just taking care of me every time I need to come here. They help me out. Like they just have me at their houses. Marv, like the DMG guys, like they just have me at their houses, and so I can come here and practice because my visa don't allow me to stay forever. So I just come,
Mhm.
practice, then just play the tournaments, go back, and then
Yeah.
just
What has it been like playing at Capital Edge with so many historic players out there all the time,
it's
and
crazy,
just
dude.
one of the best fields in America, if not the world? I would have to put Capital Edge paintball up there
It's
because it's just
very
such a
big.
great environment for paintball.
Yeah, I mean it's very big, and it's a huge experience for me because like any random day you can see Alex Ray run into the snake, and it's like
Yeah.
even when it's not layer practices, it's like I mean it's crazy. Josh comes here a lot, and I know Dynasty started around this area, so it's like
Mhm.
it's I mean I just love it. I mean aside from the actual airball fields and what we play, like it's just huge. Like a lot of people plays there, and it's like I mean, whenever I can, like there's kids there and they're like, "Hey, like, can I shoot your gun?" Or I just let them shoot my gun or whatever because I feel that was me when I was growing up, right? Like I used to watch the pros in the magazines or whatever, and I used to think Marcelo was older, but I mean, I want to help them too.
I love that you used to think I was older and then realized I was so young. I'll
Yeah,
take that any day of the week these
yeah,
days.
dude. I'm
Stay
like
looking young. I
older
love
than you, and I
it.
realized, like, wow,
Yeah, we're right there.
yeah, we're
VG,
close.
so now, look, you just had your pro debut with DMG. It,
Yep.
it didn't go great. DMG, I think, went 0-4 in Orlando.
Hmm.
I think the Ironmen did too. Those might be the only two teams that went
They beat
0-4.
us. They
Okay,
went.
no,
They
so they
went
went
one
one
and
and
three.
three.
Yeah.
Ah, that's
Hmm.
right.
They
Okay.
beat us in overtime.
Okay. What's the sentiment around that for the first event, the DMG camp? One, I'm a big fan of the DMG camp. I think, we practice DMG. We practice you guys a lot before every
Hmm.
event when we go up to Capital Edge. And to me, it doesn't make sense that the performances are going down like this at the event because I think you guys are much better than that. What do you think is happening? What's going on? Can you kind of elaborate a little bit on that? I mean, I know it's your first event, so I don't, want to put you
Yeah.
in too much of hot water there, but
No, no, no. I mean, we had this conversation after the event. We had a meeting, and it's like Dylan does a lot to lead the team, and
yeah,
I mean, shout out to him. Like
absolutely.
all the older guys, like not the older guys, but the older guys on the team, they do a lot like of work that nobody sees, right? So I see them like writing game plans, planning the practices, like trying to get us practices, like all the little details that go unnoticed when you have like a manager or something. We have Terry Funk and now we have How coaching us, but Dylan in the day-to-day basis and Marv and Jordan, Shane, like all these guys, like they try to make it work, and shout out to them because it's hard. So I think we had this conversation, and when Miles used to play with Impact, I would stay with him and Edward just doing drills because I like to do drills, and they were teaching me, and I was like, sweet, like I'm learning from these guys. That I mean, Miles probably top
Hmm.
5 ever. I was like,
Hmm.
sweet. So I used to talk a lot with him, and he would tell me something like, I realized. So you've been playing, like both of you have been playing for 15 years. Tyler 17, 20 pro.
Yeah, right around 20.
Okay,
Yeah.
so none of the DMG current players have been playing that total,
Hmm.
including
Yeah.
divisional and pro. So I feel we lack is just experience at the pro field, right? To
Yeah, but the
understand the
team has been pro
situation.
now for how many years?
Four,
Five?
four,
Four?
five,
Four
yeah, five,
years?
five.
That's a decent amount of time compared to some of the
Yeah,
other
I
teams
agree.
and right?
It's just that they lost more than half that team already.
That's
Every
true.
year,
That's
yeah.
true.
So
And
it's like,
they're aftermath now. Yeah.
And some on Mikey. Well, Mikey came
And
later,
right,
but
right.
then yeah. So it's like,
Oh, that's true.
So
This
the
current
team
incarnation
that
of DMG.
actually became pro, like the only one who's always at practice is Marvin, and then Speaks. It's been coming after now. He because he's a nurse, so he works a lot. So it's
Yeah.
hard for him to be like every weekend here, right? And then Shane is like our emblem. Like, I mean, like, he's like our eldest player, but he's
Shane
not
is the
always at
man, dude.
practice. Yeah,
Shane the Chain,
he's good,
baby.
Shane is,
dude. He's
yeah.
good. Like, people don't realize how good he is, but he's good, dude. Like,
Yeah. I mean, he was on one of my early pro teams when I was with Oakland.
yeah,
You know, me and
yeah,
Shane have run alongside each other for some seasons as well.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So what I feel we lack as a team is maybe time. The thing is that we don't have much, right? Because I mean, last year the team was about to get relegated, and now we're
hmm
last spot again.
So how do we
For
kick it? How do you kick that into overdrive? You know what I
I
mean?
mean,
How do we like shock the system and make
dude,
it to where do you think it's the communication or maybe the field awareness and knowing the timing? Like
yeah,
what is it? Do you know what I mean?
yeah. So I
I
feel
I want
say
to
it.
push back on this though, because this is what I was saying though, VG. To me, it's not about how the team plays because we practice you guys before every event, and I'm telling you,
Yeah,
in practice, you guys are not an 0-4 team. So something's happening when you get to the event that is causing a breakdown.
yeah,
I don't know what it is,
yeah.
and
We're
I
having
guess
the
maybe you
same
could say that.
conversation.
Yeah,
We're having the same conversation because I mean, for me, it's like I feel like, man, like, so we're the last place team, and I was the last one to make it into the team. So what does that make me? The last place pro? I mean, like, I gotta get better, dude. I gotta help the team somehow, right?
that's
It's
a
like,
funny way to look at it.
yeah, dude. It's like, man, we gotta do better, but it's just like it happens fast, dude. Like,
Yes.
we were at practice and Victor sent us some videos when we practice, you guys, and I was watching that, and the next day I'm in the plane, and the next day I'm like, we're 0-4, and I'm like, wow, that was
Yeah,
fast.
because DMG has a solid crew of players. Like
Yeah,
I've played up there with DMG a lot, and they know how to ball.
yeah,
So yeah, Marcelo's onto something there. It could be just the tournament atmosphere. I'm not sure with that
maybe,
the
dude.
dynamic, but it is it is a little bit different. But you kind of just got to take a breath and just walk into those games like it's practice against Dynasty. You know what I mean? Because I know that when you guys play up north, I know from Marcelo, he says that sometimes like the last tournament, he's like, I got my butt kicked the whole practice and then goes and has a
Yeah.
great tournament. But you guys know how to play. You know what I
Well,
mean?
it's one of two things. It's either players are cheating and getting away with stuff in practice or not being honest about bounces or light skims, things like that, which I'm not saying that's what it is. Again, I'm a huge fan of DMG. I talk to Dylan all the time. I think he's been playing great. I'm a fan of the organization, and I'm just perplexed because I see you guys at practice, and I don't think it's because of those reasons. So then I see this at the tournament, doesn't make sense. But it's either that or there's a coaching issue at the event or like a breakdown in keeping the players poised and keeping these games within reach.
Hmm.
And it does seem like a lot of them are close matches too. I don't feel like you guys are getting blown out. A lot of it is like either overtime or 1 or 2 point losses, right?
Hmm. So we got, I mean, yeah, this tournament only, we got blown out by damage. Like, they were in complete control of the game, but I feel they were playing good. Like, the only
They
stuff they
played
found
good,
was
yeah.
you guys.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, that's a great team. Damage should be a
Yeah.
top 3 team
Oh
every
yeah.
event. That's some another question for another podcast with them. It's like,
I
why
agree. Yeah. I
don't
agree.
they win? It's like, man,
Totally.
Joey Blood, like, and just start naming world champions there. It's just
hmm
like, with us, we just got How as a coach. It was his first event as a coach. Terry used to coach us, but now How is helping us with that, and Terry is more
Mhm.
like an
Mhm.
assistant coach manager. So I guess he's also learning the place. He's also learning some of the new players because we merged with the D. We've been rebuilding for since I got here. So
Yeah.
we merged with the D2 squad. It was the semi-pro, and then that team merged, and then we made a D2 squad, and that team merged. I used to play for the semi-pro, then for the D2, and now for the pro,
Yeah.
right? So it's been we've been rebuilding. I don't really have an answer for that. Like we've had a meetings. We were gonna have a Zoom, but I ended up coming here because we've been trying to do this for 2 years. So I gotta apologize to Dylan later. But I was like, yeah, we were gonna
Well,
do this
that's
yesterday.
I know you have some ideas as to what happened at the last event. You're too smart to not have ideas of what you guys can do better.
So my plan was, I'm gonna do a breakdown of all the games, and we're gonna have a meeting about it. It's just, yeah, I think they're gonna listen to me, and then we all are gonna watch it. It's not like I'm not trying to take control. It's
Of
just like
course.
it's
Accountability.
exactly. We're trying to
Yeah.
help. I mean, I got to watch most of the games personally, but when you can break it down, like watch the webcast and like actually take notes and stuff. I mean, I feel, for example, Dylan should be just attacking, right?
I agree.
It's just I wouldn't ever play Dylan as a two
He's one of your
or
guys'
speak
best attackers now.
exactly. But for some reason, we've been playing him in that two role. I don't know how that works, but man, when he attacks, like I've played behind him when he's attacking, and it's so easy. Like I'm just doing
yeah.
anything, just talking to him, and he's killing everybody. It's beautiful,
Yeah.
and against any team. So it's like for me as a two or as a three, like I want to see those players as the one doing damage and keeping teams worried. That's one of the things I think maybe we should do, like place players where they excel the best.
Well,
Maybe that's
I
Absolutely.
really appreciate the selflessness of the team to just sit down and watch video together, and you don't even have to say anything. No words have to be exchanged. Let's just watch the games. And then, then we have a really good idea as a team, and after we can formulate some good ideas, but it's just such a it's a rare thing. People don't sit and hang out and just kind of selflessly watch paintball for the betterment of, the organization. That's really cool that you guys are doing that. And I got to give mad love to Terry Fong because that guy's the man. So
yeah,
shout out to T
Oh
Fong
yeah,
one
absolutely.
that's a
time.
terrible huge help for me.
Yeah.
But the best teams do that. They watch film. I learned
Yeah.
that from Marcelo from a young age, and it's like, man, like if they're doing it, we're supposed to be doing it too. And I know we do it, and we're just getting better at that. And we're trying to have like a Zoom meeting a week and trying to like
Awesome.
we're starting with all that stuff now, and it's I know it's gonna help. Like everybody has jobs and stuff. Like I mean, I have to be traveling back and forth and everything, but we're figuring stuff out.
Yeah. That's what
Awesome.
it's all about. It's all about the progression and that drive. And, DMG, you guys have such an amazing camp. I know you guys are going to do great things because of the amount of passion that you guys have to be great in this game. And you have such an amazing park and just leadership role
Support,
behind
yeah,
everything. Yeah.
exactly. We have Dave's care and support their families. Like we have
Yeah.
all the brands. Like we have to do better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we can't
Well,
wait
man,
for, there's a lot more paintball to play.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, a lot more paintball, and I'm actually really pleased with your response. I think that with some of those new implementation of Zoom meetings and watching film, I mean, that kind of stuff goes a long way. Just that dedication to each other,
exactly.
the commitment, the little extra time, the sacrifice. It really it shows itself in those overtime points. It shows
Yeah.
itself in those when you're down one with 30 seconds to go. It
Hmm.
shows itself in those moments. So I think it will start to pay off. And again, like I said, I've been a fan of DMG. We practice you guys a bunch. There's been, over the last couple of years, there's been practices where I leave and I go, I think DMG played us better than Impact did. And Impact's one of the best teams to ever play the game.
Yeah.
And so I'm always scratching my head when I don't see it translating at the events quite as much. And so if you guys can just, get that sorted out, like I think DMG is going to be in a good spot, and definitely be on their way to making some Sundays and
Yeah, we will.
being a threat.
Yeah. Thank you. We're working on that, and
Awesome,
for
man.
sure we will. I mean, we gotta put the pieces
Yeah,
together because we have everything.
of
I
course.
mean, we have the support, we have the place
Of
to do
course.
it. I mean,
Of course. BG, before we let you go, what is something that again, I'm sure this is such a long time dream of yours to get on that pro field out there. One, how did that feel to finally be on the pro field? I mean, did you cry a little bit? Did you tear up? Did you shed a tear? Did you, eyes to the
uh,
sky? What was that like being on Go Sports?
it was good, dude. Like, I mean, I just want to make my family proud, dude. Like, they've given everything to me to be here, and just not here in paintball, but in life, and
Of
like just
course.
being able to like just them watching me. because I've played tournaments with webcasts before, like in Panama, Ecuador, whatever. But this
Go
is the
sports.
big stage,
Yeah.
right? And it's like, damn, this is it, right? And I almost cried because I went to the middle, traded with Thomas Taylor, and then he
Nice.
kept shooting me. I kept shooting him, but he was shooting me in the mouth. So yeah, I almost cried. And then I thought he was good, dude. And then I talked to Matty Marshall after, and he was like, "Hey, dude, looking good." Like, I mean, Matty is always positive. Like, "Hey, I like your beard. Like, you're looking good, dude." And I was like, "Thank you, Matty." And he was like, "Yeah, you gotta keep working hard, and just help more the team in the field." And I was like, "Thank you, Matty," because Matty was here for the Sacramento NXL, the Open.
Yeah.
So
Right.
we were in the webcast, but we were playing Division Two.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So it's not the same. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm
Gotcha.
here and I'm playing against Thomas Taylor, so this is real. And it's just like, yeah, man, I get humbled because it's like everything I've done and I haven't done anything. So it's like,
Yeah.
gotta keep working, right?
I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
What are your goals for this year and your career with DMG or whatever team? Where do you see yourself going in this? What's on the horizon?
So my goals are helping the team getting better, and I want to help inside the field. Like, I want to be on the field and just help the team win games, being a presence on the field. My
Awesome.
personal goals are
Yeah.
those. And yeah, I don't see myself playing nowhere else. I had a couple offers in the off season to try out for other teams, but I wanted to stay loyal to Dave and the guys because they helped me without expecting anything in return, right? Like, the only reason Dave and Duffy and the DMG guys have been helping me is because they wanted to help me. Like, it's not like I'm Oliver Lang or
Awesome.
anything. So it's
Yeah.
like, I wanted to stay here, and like, I don't see myself, I mean, unless something drastic happens, like, I don't see myself playing nowhere else, and I want to win an event in the near future.
Awesome. I love it.
Yeah, man, you will if you just keep applying yourself, just keep
I
playing
will.
and keep, the game. You understand the paintball game. It's just getting the 5 players out there to all do that in synchronicity. That is
Yeah.
one of the most difficult things. Any team, we all go through that. Maybe not Dynasty the last few events, but all these other teams definitely. It's a very difficult task to
It is. I
consistently
mean,
go
look
out
at
there
your
and.
team. Like, I see
Mhm.
your team, and I'm same with Damage. I'm like, damn, like, he is looking scarier now with Tyler. Like, Todd Martinez as a coach, it's like, wow, dude. And then, like, they lose to Aftermath. No disrespect to Aftermath, but it's like, man, like, you're playing against Federer, Tyler, all these guys. The coach is Todd Martinez, and then you lose, and they're about to be mercied, and I'm like, man,
Yeah.
painful. It's
And
like,
then we came back and brought it to overtime, and it
almost,
was
yeah,
really,
exactly.
really
That's
close there.
the
But
true potential of the team, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's like,
that's
that's
right. But
something I want to work on. It. I need to be faster too. Every time, like, I know, like, I need to be faster because in the pro field everything happens faster, and that's been one of my biggest hurdles because growing up I was just a swimmer, so I never learned how to run properly. So I played water polo, so I never learned. Like, all my teammates used to play football, so they all know how to run. So that's one another of my goals is just getting faster and conditioned to be able to. I was just seeing you and like, and Marcelo. I'm doing knees over toes because, dude, Marcelo is running like when he was 15, and I'm like, what's going on? Then he posted this video running to the snake against Revo, and I'm like, dude, like, he keeps reinventing this. Like, he's already at the top, and he just keeps getting better, dude. Like, I respect that. Like, that's what I
Thank you.
need to do, right?
I got a lot more in the tank. I'm excited. I'm definitely
I know, and
reinvigorated and trying to expand things that I could do out there. Knees over toes is
yes,
amazing. Listeners,
yeah,
go
doing
to the Knees Over Toes guys, send
knees
them an
over toes.
Instagram and say toss my name to him and say
Yeah,
you've listened to the podcast,
yeah.
because him and I have talked quite a bit actually, which is super cool, and he's aware of the podcast. I'm like, dude,
Let's
I'm
bring
sending
him here.
anybody. I would love that.
Yeah,
I would love that. We can only do that with the help of all the listeners though.
yeah. Let's
Um, but
plug him right
like,
now.
dude, with outside of that, I mean, this program can seriously change your life. It's
It's
phenomenal.
really
What?
good.
Yeah,
And also
absolutely.
Elon Musk, dude. Like, Marcelo is a good sales rep for Tesla, dude.
Shout out to the Tesla.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh my goodness, with gas prices these days, I
Do
mean,
you see
I
it?
like made the best decision of my life. I can't even
Everybody's
believe
talking
it.
about that, dude.
It's
Getting a
crazy. Yeah,
Tesla.
I don't even talk about gas prices. It looks crazy. I see the Instagram posts, but I just don't
Yeah.
understand.
I mean, I don't have a
Nice.
car or I don't drive here. Like, I'm just a baby brother. Like, I'm a little
Yeah.
brother. So wherever people bring me, I'm there with them.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, VG, I want to kind of touch though, back on what Tyler said about Dynasty winning the last 3 events. That might be true, but it also is, for 4 years we won 1 event in 4 years, and it was a group that had like been together. It was a group that on paper should have won events. In 4 years we won 1 event. If you count the European event where it was like, with the I guess 3 if you count the Golden State Kings and Expendables, which was a similar group. But again, we had Archie. Dynasty won 1 event in 4 years.
Yeah.
And really 4.5 if you bring it all the way to World Cup. My point is that you can have the pieces, but sometimes the best meals just do take time. I'm Italian, I'm a cook. I know that the sauce gets better the longer you let it simmer.
Yeah.
Like that's a fact. You let it simmer, you sit there, you give it a little bit of love, stir it around, mix it up, put a little love here, a little love there. At the end, the longer it takes, the better it is, and sometimes that's just the way it has to be. And so if you guys can all like commit to each other, to this new program, to this new way of working towards these events, and you put the time in, you guys can absolutely get there.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a plan. Some wine infused cannolis. DMG style.
My man.
Yeah, dude.
Some wine infused cannolis. Let's go.
Yeah,
I
dude.
can't wait.
Takes time, dude.
Hell yeah, brother. Well, shoot. Ty, did you have anything else for our man VG? I know we were on a little bit of a short time constraint tonight. We'll have to have VG back on someday to talk a little bit more about the Colombian scene.
Yeah, I mean the Discord did have a couple questions for our dude.
I didn't know we had. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I posted up in there so they could give you a shout out. Young Stevie had one. DMG has everything in a program needed to be successful. The camp has a great team to scrimmage and very supportive home field. And he's wondering what is going to be the deciding thing that stops DMG from, either becoming the best or not being a top tier team.
Yeah, so I think we went through this during the podcast, but I'm just gonna do a little summary. There is just maybe placing players in where they excel the best, and as just the Italian friend said, it just takes time, dude. Like just figure out a way to work it out together. It takes time.
Absolutely. Okay. I do see some questions in here, but yeah, again, we absolutely touched on most of them. One is from CB2K. VG, due to your Colombian heritage, did Diego Santos and Brandon Short make you an offer for the Latin Saints? No. All right. You heard it here first.
Easy.
I don't know. I know Brandon, but I don't know Diego. And some of my Colombian friends from Wild Dogs got offers, but I don't know. I guess I'm not cool enough.
Cool.
I didn't get any offers. And I went to Mexico, but I played with all my DMG gear and I don't know. I didn't get any offers.
Big ups to the Wild Dogs.
Sometimes it'd be like that.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Wild Dogs. Shadow wants to know, do you believe in aliens?
Oh man, I left mine.
Like real ones.
Yeah, man, of course. It's like, this is a big universe, dude. I don't have my tinfoil hat, but of course I do, man. Like, this is massive. Like, if you think about it, like, we've traveled the world. It's like, man, this is big enough and we don't know it all. And then, like,
I can't believe how flat the world is, though. That's the thing that I can't get over. It's unbelievable.
It's like, dude,
it's crazy.
Of course I believe in aliens. I don't know how they look like. I have this little theory, and it's like civilizations, they first invest in defense, right? Like guns, like whatever they need to protect themselves or hunt. And then they research and like invest in transportation. So my theory is that if they come here, they already have better guns because we don't have the transportation to get where they at. So we better come together to fight them and stop fighting each other.
Yeah. If they come here, they definitely have all the better equipment.
Exactly.
I mean,
so,
yeah.
I don't think we're ready, so we better still fighting each other.
Yeah, seriously, show some love, man. Let's show some love out there. Maggie wanted to just show you some love, and she actually like downloaded the whole PTG squad with like your credentials, and you've been in the game, and we appreciate you so much, man, for everything that you've done for this game. Because,
Thank you,
like we
man.
said, it really
Thank
is
you, man.
tremendous the energy that you bring to a field, and just trying to help paintball be better one day at a time.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
I got one last question. It's from Bunkered Media, and it's, who is your favorite and least favorite team to play against, and why?
I guess Dynasty.
Favorite or least favorite?
Both.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's
like-
that's a great answer. I love that.
Long-time friends, long-time mentors, like all of you guys build me into what I am today. And then it's I guess it's the only rival I enjoy when they win, because like we're not teammates anymore, we're rivals now. But it's like, man, I just love to see them winning, right? But then it's like, man, they're beating me. Like, I need to get better. So it's Dynasty for both.
Nice. All right. Awesome. Well, shoot, man, VG, thank you so much for spending some time with us, brother. Really, really, I mean, just proud of everything that you've done, and proud to be one of your friends, because you're an amazing person. Shout out to your parents. They're amazing people. The hospitality that you've shown me from the first time I ever met you down in Colombia. We have stories for days. Shout out to La Cristalina. Oh my goodness. That place is heaven. I shouldn't even talk about it on the show, because that's a sanctuary of just the jungle and waterfalls.
Used to talk about basketball with you.
I know. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Your brother. Amazing. He still will message me every so often.
I know.
So you think the Warriors are going to make it? I'm like, you're still watching basketball? I love it. He's a huge fan of the NBA, which is awesome. But I'm just excited to see you up here, see you in the pro league, man. It's been a long time coming. Much deserved. I know you're going to continue to work hard, man. And yeah, dude, thank you again.
VG, thank you. And then, is there any shout outs, any plugs like for your Instagram or anything that you want to plug? Now's the time for that, my man.
Yeah. So my Instagram is at LUISVILLO. And then, shout out to my sponsors: Capital H Paintball, Planet Eclipse, HK Army, Sac Paintball. I think that's it. Yeah. Shout out CS2, DMG.
Awesome,
there we go.
Ooh, look at that thing. For all the listeners, head over to the YouTube. He's got a shiny new CS2 right there.
There we go. Yeah, we can't wait to see you and the squad. Are you guys going to go to Texas to play that event?
We're working on that. Yeah, we're trying to.
Nice. So then we should be seeing you guys in a little over a month.
If we can make it, I'm looking for a team. So
there we go. Let's get Lewis dialed in.
And some of my teammates are looking for a team too. So yeah, Dylan, Jordan, I know we're trying to play. So,
yeah. So message VG and he'll get you all set up, and we cannot wait to see you soon, brother. Thank you so much for stopping by the show, man.
Guys, anytime.
Oh yeah, brother. All righty. Peace. All right, everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We hope you guys enjoyed that one. VG is the man. When we have a little bit more time, we're going to have to get him back on and really dive into some of those stories, because Colombia is an amazing, beautiful place, but he's had to overcome a ton of adversity along the way, and his stories are really inspirational. Love VG to death. Really wish him the best in the league, and know that he's going to do pretty great things. So if you guys would like to support the show, as always, you could head over to ptgpaintball.com. We have all of our videos, our audio, everything is on there. And if you would like, you can click the Patreon link, sign up. You'll get access to our Discord, which is phenomenal place to be. If you guys haven't heard about it, the PTG Discord is absolutely lit. All right, everybody. Until next time, you guys know the drill. We'll see you very soon.